What's up, everybody? Bernardo here, and today we'll be talking about how to stop being the number two in your industry and become the first one. So let's go. Well, first things first, this is about a really good marketing book, which is called The 22 Immutable Laws of Marketing by Ulrich and Jack Trout. This version right here in the side is in Portuguese because I'm from Brazil, but the concepts are universal. And it starts like this. First things first. The first rule is the company that is the first one in the industry tends to be the best one, the most recognizable, and the one, by consequence, the one who has a bigger valuation, who sells more, who is the one of top of mind in your industry, right? Basically, what you want to become. So I'll give some context for you guys. Well, during the computer wars, I would say, quote unquote, back in the 80s, the 90s, previously it had a big company which is called IBM. If you are too young, you don't know what IBM is. Maybe you watched the Steve Jobs movie and you've seen there IBM here, IBM there. But basically, IBM was gigantic, was something huge in the computer industry. I'm sorry, computer, whatever. Actually, let me do it right. Computer industry. Back when computers were created, previously, not all computers were notebooks, where they were slim and small and you could bring them anywhere and everywhere. They were huge, like they had the size of whole rooms. And later they became smaller, and then became computers, normal computers that we see, right? The PC, the personal computers. But what matters is that in the industry of computers, IBM was the top of mind, was the big one, was the top. And there were many other companies that appeared. And one of those was Apple. I'll just draw the symbol right for you guys to understand, but Apple, right? And Apple was competing against IBM in the computer section. So I'll just write here computer and draw an apple right here. But what matters is that IBM was the top of mind, was the number one in the industry. And Apple, in this example, was the number two. But how Apple surpassed IBM to become the company that has the biggest valuation in the world. Right now is NVIDIA, but you got the example. In the computing niche, in the computing sector, it became the first one. And had $2-3 trillion valuation, whatever. The whole example here is law number 2. If you can't beat them in their own, battle, in their own niche, you create a new niche. You completely ignore this niche and you create a new one. And how Apple did it, instead of trying to compete against IBM and many others in an established industry, the computer industry, what Apple did, he created a brand new niche for himself, which was the PC, the personal computers. The personal computers. What Apple did was he ignored this niche. He basically gave up on computing, on competing on computers, and he created a brand new sector for himself. A sector where Apple was the main company and the other ones were irrelevant. whatever. But what matters is, all right, I've got my company, I've got my, I don't know, I'll just give you an example. I have my supplement company. How can I do that? The industry, it's a very backed industry with a lot of companies, very well established companies. How can I win that? How can I win against gigantic, against giants in the market? How can I win from giants, basically, right? First things first, is you create your own industry. That's what Apple did. And you promote the fuck out of this. You promote the fuck out of your industry to show that your industry, the niche that you created, is better than the previous one. So basically, Apple, and you can see it in the movie, right? The movie is from Steve Jobs. If I'm not mistaken, it is Steve Jobs' biography, right? But basically, he promoted the hell out of personal computers. And you see his struggle, because it's fucking difficult, right? But if it wasn't difficult, there wouldn't have so much money to be made, to be grabbed, to spike our valuation up and to be sold later for billions and billions of dollars and buy yachts and jets and other kind of cool stuff. But basically, what Steve Jobs and Apple did, he created a brand new niche, on this example, personal computers, and he promoted the hell out of it. In Apple's case, a personal computer was for the broad market. It was for people like you and me. And previously people thought that they only could have a computer in their working station, places where it worked. And people didn't have computers at home. And the idea that Steve Jobs sold, the niche that he sold, was that people could have computers at their homes. And he made people's minds on that. He made people's minds. And because business is war in using that reflection, business is war and marketing is propaganda. It's basically that. You have to make people's minds on a certain product. A certain product, a certain company, that in this case is yours, right? So basically they sold this niche, this brand new niche, and you have the new effects, right? Everything that is new is, you have this new effect, which is, wow, it's the best technology that arrives in the market. There's no one like this one. It isn't like the old ones. And you can see that very, I'm forgetting the words right now, but you can see it very clearly in the 1984 Apple campaign, right? 1984, where basically they're talking trash about IBM and the future of personal computing. The future of computing, if IBM is the biggest company in the sector and starts eating, buying all of the companies or breaking all of the personal computing companies, and the only one that can save it is Apple, right? And there's this famous line where the girl goes there and just throws the big hammer on the 1984 screen. That's an analogy to the book. And it says 1984 won't be like 1984, right? And then Apple, boom, like straight away. But basically, this is the idea. You need to, let me organize these thoughts, right? Because this thing is pretty messy, I would say. One, you do a benchmark of your niche, but you probably know who is the top of your industry, who's the IBM of your niche. If you're the second one, depending on how big your industry is, it's alright, you can be the second one. But if you want to become the number one, that's what you need to do. First things first, you benchmark. The second thing that you need to do, once you know who your competitors are, You do an analysis of your product, right? What do you offer? What are the benefits that you do? And if you work on a different kind of sector, a sector where you have research and development, right? A sector where you have R&D, where is your R&D focused on? Because IBM did big computers, focused for companies, big companies, and focusing on big data and all that kind of stuff. And Apple was focusing on personal computers for people like you and me, for the average Joe, right? So you gotta do an analysis of what you are developing if you have a company that does R&D. But if you have a normal company, like a marketing agency, like a plumbing business, like normal, I don't know, you've got an e-com, right? You've got an e-com that you are the one who does the R&D. You make a benchmark, you analyze what you have in your disposal, what are the benefits that your product brings, because no one cares about your product specifically, they care about the benefits that it brings them in their lives. Will they make more money? Will your products help you get laid? Will your products make them feel accepted and loved? Will your products make them fitter, have less pain, physical pain, right? Health. Will you, whatever, make them get more status? Then you have to make this analysis and focus on the benefits that your product brings. You make a brainstorming session just like this one, like take notes on at least 100 points, focusing on that. You can use AI to help you out with that, and make analysis of your business. Recognize who are the top dogs, and based on the benefits of the analysis, and here's the third point, you make a brand new, you make a new niche for yourself, right? That's why my company isn't a marketing agency. We are a revenue increasing agency. What is the difference between what we offer and what most other marketing agencies offer? Because we are focused on making revenue. We're focused on making cash for you. We don't want to make your company look beautiful and nice. Oh, how beautiful it is. Oh, how beautiful it is. Doesn't matter if it's beautiful but it doesn't make money. What matters is if money is coming in, cash in your share for the word, cash in your wallet. Fuck it. That's the thing that matters, right? Cash in your wallet, where you can have a cash flow for your business and all that kind of stuff. While other marketing agencies are focusing on making things beautiful, or we're going to make a plan for you to blah blah. No, marketing is a tool of propaganda to get into your industry persona's head, where marketing is all a tool. Like what Apple did. Apple did marketing, which is propaganda. They developed a good product, of course, right? You have to have a product to sell or a service, whatever. But you gotta have something different. In this case, it's very R&D focused, but you can sell the same thing, but from a different wrap-up, from a different wrapping. Basically, you get the product that you have. If you have R&D, you develop it in a better way, personal computer against the computer example, have that in mind. But if you don't have R&D, list all of the benefits that your new product brings to the market and make a new niche. A niche where you are number one, right? Where here's written you, if you can see. Your company is the first one, and the other ones are second and third, and fuck them. We don't care about the other companies because you're the one, and you need to constantly sell that your niche is the best one and that you're always developing new stuff, because otherwise you will become obsolete, you will become IBM. Why Apple took what IBM was? There are many examples, but basically on the marketing side of things, because Apple made a brand new way of seeing computers. A way where you can have a computer at home, you can work from home, you can do things from home, you can design, you can create, you can innovate from home, from anywhere. Not only at your cubicle at work. That's what IBM saw. And that's why IBM, no one listens about IBM today. IBM might be alive, but it's dead in a personal, on a zeitgeist. That's a broad term, but it's dead for the broad population of Earth. And Apple is a new talk, because it took the industry, sold it, and kept innovating. But here is a marketing talk. So basically, what you need to do, again, benchmark, know who your competition is, know who your IBM is, know who your Apple is, and know where you are. 2, make an analysis. If you have a brand new product, that brings better benefits for your customers' lives, in order for them to feel loved, to make more money, to get laid, to have better health, lack of physical pain, you can relieve pain of them, or make them feel accepted and loved. And based on that, you make a brand new niche where you are the top dog. So if you want to become this thing right here, if you don't have enough creativity to do all of this exercise, or if you, shit, this is messy, or if you want to have this kind of exercise for you to become the top one, the top dog in your industry, and don't end up like IBM, which is obsolete, but become Apple in the future generations. There's a link below. Book a call with me, book a call with us from the team of Latin Media. We can do this whole work here and many more, and many other stuff for your company specifically. So book a call below, the links in the description and in the first comment. And I hope to see you there, because I'm gonna have a talk, and I promise it won't be as messy as this. And it's good because we focus on your company, and you can have a worst case scenario, you have something to do, like an idea of what you can do for your company. So hope to see you guys there, and have a good one. See ya.